Hello everyone. Welcome. Luba Carlson is here. Super excited to have you. Super excited to be back. All right. Okay, so tell me who you are. Tell me who's here. I see Angel's here and Terry's here. Hi. Looks like it's super cold where you are. Never got never got this cold here. It's It's toasty 25 degrees here in Omaha. Yeah, I'm not complaining. Hi Linda and Virginia. Woohoo! My favorite people here. So awesome. All right. Hi Cindy. Hi Eileen. Pleasant 62 degrees in the South Bay of Southern California. Oh my. Vine Grove 27 degrees. Quebec, Canada. Oh, I wonder what's going on there. Linda, Virginia says it's a heat wave. It's negative 28. What is it, centigrade or is it Celsius? What is it? 31 Celsius. It's like negative 31. That would be like negative, I don't know. Is it negative 10 Fahrenheit? It's cold. Oh my goodness. It is Celsius. Okay. Yeah, it is super cold. Oh boy. All right. Well, let's get to it. Let's keep the things going, right? So, if you happen to be in a super cold place and your fingers are cold, sunny 0 degree day in Chicago. Yeah, Marianne, I hear Chicago is going to be super cold in February. So, if your hands are cold, here's a good exercise for your hands. So, just kind of get the blood flowing so that it's easier for you to start working with the brushes. So I call this wiggle worms. I do this with my kids a lot at the classes that I teach for kids. So this exercise is called wiggle worms, and then you can close and open your fist, rotate for your wrists to just kind of get your hands moving a little bit if you're cold. Okay. All right. So for this painting, I am working on acrylic paper. You can work on canvas board, wood, whatever you chose is all good. For the size that I'm working on, I chose a 3/4 inch. It's a 16, size 16 flat. So it's not the 1 inch, but it's kind of close. So this is the 1 inch, and that's a little bit smaller because I'm on a smaller scale. And I have I think it's a number 12 round. And this is a number 1 round, just a liner brush for details. For our colors, and I'm just going to put them right on here as we speak. There's going to be a whole lot of white today. And it's not wanting to come out. There we go. Now it's out. Okay. So I have white. Phthalo green, not a lot. You're not going to need a whole lot of this color. So just squeeze a little bit if you can control that. And then lemon yellow, also not a whole lot. Not going to need a lot of that. Oh, that's perfect. It came out just the right amount. And I'm using bright red. Acrylic paper is not watercolor and it's not mixed media. It's just acrylic. It's paper for painting with acrylics. You can use watercolor paper or mixed media paper, whatever you have. Just make sure that that it's heavy enough that it's not going to just work on you. Okay. Excuse me. Oh boy. Traditionally, I sneeze during lives. Always do that. I don't know why. It's kind of almost not funny anymore, but it just happens. Okay, burnt sienna. Not gonna need a whole lot. Not. And black. Also, not a lot. Especially if I can get the paint out of here. That would be great. Come on. Work with me. Zoom. All right. Here we go. Okay, so in the description below the video, you can find the link to the tracer. If you need a pattern, that's where it's found. It's right there. I do not really think that we need a pattern. I think we can go just without it and we'll be just fine. So for this painting, I am going to start with something that I usually don't start with, right? Because normally I think I would start with the background on the top and then the background here for the table, and then we put the vase in. But because I want my vase to have this kind of shading, both from the blue and the yellow, I'm going to start with the vase first. So what I'm doing is I'm going to grab my flat brush, make it damp, squeeze the excess water on the wall, maybe even take it out on a paper towel, fill it up with white paint, and that is painting white on white. So you're just gonna have to watch for where it shines. Okay, and I'm just painting a circle. Just paint a circle that would be the size of the vase that you want to use. Okay, and as you paint your circle, kind of lift it and turn it around a little bit, and you will see where the wet is, and it'll help you see where you need more white. And I will show you in a few. You will see why we're doing it first. So I'm just going back, making sure that my circle is all filled in. Okay, and then I'm going to add like little arms sticking up here on both sides, and then connect. So let me move it around a little bit there so you can see. Like that. So we're just adding a neck to that, to the vase. Okay, and I want to fill that in. And then I'm going to just smooth this out a little bit so that it's more like a vase shape. So maybe it's not, maybe it's a little bit curvier. Okay, so just look at the shape and smooth it out, make it the way you want it to be. Make sure that it's all painted nice and white. All right. Okay, your next step is to create the background for the wall. And to make this color, it's much lighter on my side. I don't know if it really shows that bright blue. It's more of a turquoise on my side. Like, I wonder if I turn it this way or that way, if the camera would show the color better. I don't know. But so what I do, let's rinse this. No, hold on. I'm just trying to decide if I want to use my palette knife or if I just want to use the brush to mix the color. Yeah, I'll just rinse this. If you do not have a palette knife, use your brush. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just thinking that I'll mix better. It'll mix better and faster if I use my palette knife. So I'm grabbing one. Okay. And I'm gonna separate some of my white off to the side. And I'm just putting just a little bit just on the tip. See how much paint I have here? Very, very small amount of paint. And that is gonna get mixed in with this white. And as you mixing it with white, you will notice that this phthalo green is kind of turning a little bit blue with the white. Okay, so this was not enough. I need a little bit more. It's too easy here to put too much in, so it's better to go little by little. And maybe a little tiny smidge. It's too easy to overwhelm it. I really want super light color, but I still want the color, not the tint. Maybe add some more. So keep adding and mixing until you get to the color that you want. Okay, I think that would be too much now that I got like into this add more and more. I feel like, oh, that would be too much. Yeah, Angie, you're gonna have to decide which green you want to use. Pick a green, mix a little bit into the white and see what happens. Okay, I'm kind of happy with this. Let me wipe off my palette knife. And we're just simply painting the background, okay? Nothing complicated here. Okay, so back to my flat brush, taking some of this light turquoise, measuring my table. I would like for it to be like at the 1/3 height of the vase. So I'll just mark it right here for me. So because if I don't, I'm gonna forget it. I'm gonna go over it. Okay. And then do the best I can to see that white vase right there and just outline that. And then top, just like that. Okay, and then the rest we just paint from the top. Choose the direction of your stroke if you want to go up and down. Maybe you want to go left and right. Maybe you want to do texture crisscross pattern. Whatever it is you do, just keep it consistent and stay with the pattern that you chose. Okay, and here's why we wanted to paint it white first, because now as I paint around it, if I get into it too far, I can just take a wet paper towel or a baby wipe and I can go back and just wipe it off because it's already acrylics in here. and it's not gonna cover anything. So just okay. And while we're doing this, I want to ask you guys to kind of brainstorm with me a little bit. So I really got stuck on planning the next class. I know that I want it to happen in 2 weeks from now. I will be teaching every second and fourth Tuesday of the month live on YouTube. And I really got stuck. I don't know what happened, but I cannot decide what to paint. So if you had some ideas and you could throw them in the comments, that would be super helpful for me. Okay, now while your paint is all super wet, what you can do, don't have to, but you can add some texture to your wall, because that's a wall, with a paper towel. So you would take your paper towel, and paper towels usually have some sort of kind of design on them, right? And so you'll just put it right on top of your painting and kind of rub it on. And I think I'm gonna need another one for the rest of it. Rub it on and then just peel it off. Okay. And when it's dry, you will see, I hope it shows. I don't know if it shows, but there is texture. Empty tomb. Easter eggs in baskets, empty tomb. Okay. Interesting choices, yeah. Don't see why not. Okay, here, I think now it shows, yeah? So you can see the texture. You can do that if you want to. I'm rinsing out my brush now, and I'm going to start working on the yellow. Don't leave your brushes sitting in the water. Just rinse them every time. Every time you can, rinse them and kind of pat them dry on your paper towel. Don't just leave them hanging like that, okay? Um, I'm going back to my palette knife, and now I'm grabbing some lemon yellow, and I know I'm gonna want a little bit more than what I used for phthalo green, and I'm just mixing it with the rest of the white here. I'm gonna need some more white later, but that's for later. It's not for now. I don't need to worry about it right now. And so I am just getting this kind of pastel white, yellow. And that's all I need. I don't need a whole lot. There we are. Let's clean that up. Okay, and now we will paint the table. Or maybe it's a shelf, or maybe it's something else. I don't know, a bench. Just something. Just something. Okay. So again, fill up my brush and I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go and cut all the way around this vase. And I feel like I got in a little bit too far. So I'm gonna grab my baby wipe and clean it up to where I want to be, right here. And it wipes right off because we put a nice coat of acrylic paint on it. All right, there we are. While we're at it, I'm asking you to please subscribe. If you are enjoying my lessons, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you get notifications when I have a new class, when I go live, because it will notify you if I when I schedule things so that you don't miss out. There we go. This is our yellow table. Okay, go ahead and right on this messy brush, take some of that lemon yellow, whatever's left over, and let's add the shading right underneath the base. Just go right under and a little bit out, and that would be the shadow. Okay, and then with the same brush, just dip it in white. And right here on the bottom, add some a little bit of yellow reflection. So when you have that like super glossy white vase sitting on a yellow table, it will pick up a little bit of that yellow. Okay, now let's clean the brush. Clean it up. Okay, have some of that turquoise mix that we made for our wall. Put that on your brush and then have a whole lot of white together. So I have two colors on my brush, turquoise, super light turquoise, right? And some white. And I'm going to work it on right here on the palette, make it lighter, maybe even a little bit more white here. I want it super light. Okay. And then I'm gonna add the kind of bluish. See, that was too light, so I'm gonna need a little bit more color so you see it. There we go. Some of the reflection of this beautiful white wall surrounding, right? And then maybe a little bit on the other side. Just a little, doesn't need much. Just add some. Just work it in. Okay. Okay, yes, we hear I'm not sure Dima, I don't know. Sometimes the diaper wipes also have nice pattern on them. Yes, they do. They really do, but you need to make certain that they're dry before you use them. Because otherwise you're gonna smudge all your work. Yeah. All right, so I'm cleaning my flat brush, and we're going to switch to round. And I think, judging from the size what I have here, I might need to just use the liner because I really don't have a big canvas here to work with. So here's how you decide what you want to do. You grab your round brushes, whatever sizes you have. So I'm just going to start with this one and fill it up with some paint. Okay. And then I'm going to drag it down my palette and twirl it as I'm dragging. And it'll show me how thick the branches are going to get. Oh, they're not staying very nice on this. So I guess I better get a paper, right? Hold on, let me grab a piece of paper that would, so that it doesn't bead up on it. Here, let's see. So drag and twirl. And then maybe put it next to your painting and see, is this too big? Or is this just right? Or is this too small? Maybe you need to go a size up on your brush, yeah, for branches. So let me try and do my liner and see. Much smaller brush. Drag and yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna go with the liner brush. Okay, so here's what we will work with. We're gonna be working together with kind of working at the same time with your black and your burnt sienna. So what I like to do is I like to add some water to both. Not much. Yeah, I usually say that we want, if we are dragging and making lines like that, we want it at the consistency of melted ice cream. Otherwise, it's just too thick and it won't paint the way you want it to. Okay. All right, so let's have some black on the brush, some burnt sienna, and I will start at the top of my vase and move the brush up in different directions while twirling the brush in between my fingers. Okay, so let's start somewhere here, going up and twirl. Some more paint. Go back, finish that. And now, like every bump that we see, it's an invitation to make a branch out. So it just kind of makes sense, like naturally here, for example. Okay, so this looks good. I'm going to make sure that this goes very nicely into my vase over here, that I have a good base. And then I'm going to switch to the next one. And again, I'm getting my burnt sienna, some black, and I'm just going to go ahead and move in a different direction, like here. And then I'm going back just to refill, making sure that there's enough paint, that it's nothing showing. And you see where the bump is, right here. So that's where going to be another branch. Just going to send it this way. It really doesn't matter where they go, as long as I don't end up with like a tangled mess. Okay, let's get another one. Burnt sienna, some black, and maybe this one is going to be the one that goes all the way across and down. So again, starting here, taking it across and this way. Go back, kind of make sure that it's all the way you want it. Oh, maybe that one just asked to be added. It just told me. Said, add me right now. I know, right? And then moving on, here's the fork, so we can add something. And here, maybe fix, add. Okay. Burnt sienna rust color. It's brown. It's like milk chocolate. I've moved my stuff in the studio. I rearranged my studio. And so now my computer with the screen with all your comments is kind of off out of the way a little bit. So it might take me a little bit longer to get to your questions. Here we go. So the main idea is to just twirl the brush. And then you go back with whatever color, yeah, and just bring it down. Make sure that that's all where you want it to be. This one is definitely asking for that. And even here. And then another here. Oops. That one wanted to go this way. Yep. Just play with this. And let's put another one in. Maybe something short right here. What? That's long. That's okay. Maybe goes that way. I feel like it's too black. There. So at some point, you're going to look at this and step back and look at it. If you step back and look at it, and you feel like you already have plenty, stop. If you feel like, oh, let's just add one more, stop. If you're at the point where you're not thinking that you need to add like five more, right? It's better to stop and reconsider and look at it again. So mine is a little bit too heavy on the left side, not enough going on the right side. So I am just going to add a branch coming here on the right side to just kind of balance it out a little bit, because it obviously it helped, right? So with the same messy brush, I'm going to pick a little bit of white here. It has a little bit of yellow in it, but it doesn't really matter right now. So let's mix. And this will be our highlight for the branches, which I'm going to apply on the left side of the branches. And I'm going to see, I want to really see which branches are in front of the other ones. Because the way we did this, we totally can see like how the paint goes. Like I can see that this branch that goes across is definitely behind this branch right here, right? So this branch is going to get the highlight that's going Here, let me put it on and I'll show you. So this one is going to go all the way through. All the way here. Like that. And then the branch is across behind it. That one gets the highlight on top. But we're going to stop and kind of jump over that one. Okay? Maybe add a little bit more white to your highlight. You do not want it to be just white. But yeah. Okay? So this branch is on top, so it gets the highlight. This one's on top, so I can give it the whole thing, whole shebang, right? Adding a little bit of water to my mix here because it's lumpy. It's not gliding. Okay, so just look at how you applied your paint and you will see that some of them are on top and some of them are underneath. And that's how you pretty much do this. Okay. Ooh. All right, so there's another, whoops. This one is behind, so that goes on top and across. Well, that one is in front, so that goes like that. And here. Okay. Branches are not easy, that's true. That's true. But the thing with branches is to just take a step back and trust. Because when you add the brown, the burnt sienna, and the black, and then some highlights, it is going to change the look of your branches. They're not going to be flat anymore. And sometimes it's just what all it takes is to like step back at some point, and not try to overdo it. Because if we add a whole lot of highlight, what's going to happen is that it's going to look like snow, and that's not what we want. We just want a little bit of light on them. Okay? I'm rinsing my brush because it's super messy, and I'm going to need it for my hearts. So I'm rinsing it. So for my hearts, I will start with white. And I'm really trying not to have to squeeze any more white, but I think I might have to. And my red mixed together. So I'm mixing white and red together. And I'm adding white to this because we're going to need this red to cover the blue and the yellow. Otherwise, we're going to end up with purple hearts, and that's not exactly what we want. And then I'm just picking up spots where I want my hearts placed. Somewhere that I know it would make sense to tie like a little rope to, like, or a piece of thread, right? So if you have this sitting on your table, you would be looking for branches that are either horizontal or going into horizontal so that there is some space where you can tie a knot, right? So like here, this branch right here, it's just perfect for that. And I'm just going to paint my first heart right here. Here's one, here's two. And let me go ahead and grab my piece of paper here. And it is just a 2-stroke heart, okay? So here's how I do this. I fill my brush with paint, my round brush, And it depends on the size of your heart that you want to do. If you want a bigger heart, you will use a bigger brush. And you pick a spot and you pretty much smoosh it down like this and then just lift. And so you have one side of the heart and then you flip to the other side, smoosh it down, lift, and then you kind of fix, what needs fixing. And you have your heart. You can do this with any round brush. You can also do it with a flat brush, but I think round brush is easier to learn. So I'm putting a heart here. Like my thing is that I'm afraid that I'll overdo with hearts, that I'll put too many hearts and then it's too much. Maybe one here. Let's see. Maybe here. Let's make a big one. I'm going to make a big one. I'm going to clean this and grab my larger round brush. Add a little bit more red to this pink mix. It's fine. Squeeze out the water. I don't want it watery. I want paint. I don't want water. Fill up the brush. And let's make a big one right here. I'm gonna put a big heart. See, squeeze, lift, and then flip the brush, and again squeeze and lift. And then you just need to go back with the tip of your brush and fix the end of it. Okay? Okay. What do you think? I think I want one right here. It'll hang so pretty, right almost in the middle. Right here. And here we go. Okay. And then we have 3 hearts on the table. There's one. There is another one. And maybe here. All right, I'm rinsing this, and I'm back to my going back to my liner brush, and I'm just going to use direct flat, like out of the bottle. The red, straight on my brush, and I'm just going to paint all those hearts nice, bright red. Now that there's nothing stopping me, right? Got took care of the background. Be super careful around your tree. It might be easier to turn your work around. It also may be easier to use a blow dryer and just blow dry it. Make sure that your tree is completely dry before you start doing this. Yeah. So I am just tracing the hearts that I already painted. I'm just adding some bright red to them. Okay. Turn it around. Just as needed. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now let's give the brush a nice good rinse. And now we will mix a little bit. You know what? Yeah, a little bit, like so little of burnt sienna into a very small amount of white. I'm just gonna put some here. Whoop, never happens. Like small amount never happens. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this burnt sienna, put it right here on the side, and then add some white to it. I want off white. I do not want a whole lot of color on this, but just a little bit. See, just a tint. I don't know if it shows on the camera as a tint. I hope it does. This is what I'm going to use for the thread that the hearts are hanging on. So you want to have your paint at ice cream consistency again, so add some water to it if it's so thick. And then as you mix your round brush, you want to swirl it and pull it out. You really want to be using just the tip of this brush, just the tip. Okay? And so how I do this is I just mark the spot on the tree. I kind of imagine the line that goes from the heart to the tree. And so I mark the spot, then do the line to the heart, and then add like They're like bunny ears, right? For the bow, for the tie. Super simple. Okay. And then you can get the next one. I'm just gonna turn this because this one is hanging from this branch right here. And this one is getting a bow on one side and on the other side, just for the fun of it. Like change the things a little bit, how you make your bow. Like you can do it on one side, on two sides, underneath. It all works pretty well. And then we're gonna go again, going up and another bow, going up and the bow, up and the bow, and another. And then the hearts that are on the table, they just have the string because they're left over. Just kind of drag it wherever. Just maybe make it make them meet. That kind of came out too big, I think. So I'm just gonna take it, wipe it off real quick, and redo. Came out too fat. I didn't like it. Yeah. And the last heart. And now we're using this same color to go back to our hearts and add the highlight. If you're enjoying this, check out my membership level 2. Link is in the description. Or if you want to buy me a coffee. Hey, I appreciate coffee. Okay, using this same color, go back to the vase and just following the shape of the vase, add the highlight. Now we're gonna grab another touch of burnt sienna, mix it with that white that we did before. We just wanted a little bit more brown, just a little bit more, not much. And we can use this color to outline the vase. It does not need to be perfect, okay? And then the line between the table and the wall. Okay, and now clean your brush completely. And yep, I'm still using the same liner brush. Okay, and now we're gonna grab pure white. Finally, right? Pure white just on the tip of your brush. See, not much at all. Not much at all, just pure white. And I like to add that in some spots to my branches, not a whole lot, not even much. Just like, I don't know, 4, 5, maybe 6 touch-ups to some branches. It will kind of bring them out a little bit, bring them up for you. this one right here. There. Okay. And then a little bit more white on this. And you see this kind of shadow line that we did? I'm going to follow it with white now. Right next to it, a little bit off to the side. Just make another one, just like it, but make it pure white for your highlight. And if you like, I feel like I need it. Yeah. I feel like I need another one right here. Just kind of step back and look and maybe ask yourself what makes sense. And then just go ahead and add what you feel like is needed. Okay, so maybe you have a Sharpie that you like to use, or a marker, or a pen, or maybe you just like to use your paintbrush when you sign your paintings, whichever way works. So sign your painting. Sign your painting. And that's it. Super easy, right? Super easy. All right, my friends, I hope you had fun. One more time, if you're not subscribed to this channel and you enjoy my tutorials, please do subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it really helps me grow. Share with your friends, let them know about this. Put the like on there, click the thumbs up so that I know that you enjoyed that. It also really helps me keep going if I know that this was helpful. And I wanted to take my tape off because I really like seeing what it looks like without tape and all of that mess. There we go. I just like the white crisp frame around it. All right. So I will see you in 2 weeks if you would like to come back. Again, I apologize. I do not know what it's going to be, but I will think of something. I will come up with something. Thank you, Dee. All right. Okay, you guys. See you next time. Bye.